My fiancé's friends joked at the engagement party. Sis, last chance to escape? Marriage is a prison. Everyone laughed. My fiancé laughed too. I didn't. When I stood up and said, "You're right, let's cancel it," her face showed. She thought I was joking until I walked out. I, 31 male, have been with my fiancé for 4 years. We got engaged 6 months ago after what I thought was a solid, loving relationship. She's a dental hygienist. I'm an electrician with my own small contracting business. Nothing fancy, but we were building something real, or so I thought. Her engagement party was last Saturday. Her friends organized it at this upscale wine bar downtown. I wasn't thrilled about the venue, felt pretentious, and the drinks were $18 each. But she wanted it, so I said fine. Her friends never really warmed up to me. They're all in marketing or consulting. Still don't know what that means. And I think they saw me as beneath their social circle. Whatever. I loved her, not them. The night started okay. About 30 people showed up, mix of her friends and mine. My buddies were in one corner talking about the playoff game. Her friends were taking selfies and ordering rosé flights. 2 separate worlds, but it was working. Then came the toasts. Her best friend, let's call her the ringleader, grabbed the mic around 9 p.m. She'd had 4 glasses of wine and was feeling bold. "Okay, everyone, before our girl here gets locked down forever," she paused for dramatic effect. "Sis, this is your last chance to escape. Marriage is basically prison with shared finances." The room erupted. Her friends were cackling. Some of my friends chuckled awkwardly. I looked at my fiancée. She was laughing. Not the uncomfortable "please stop" laugh. The genuine, throwing her head back, tears in her eyes laugh. The ringleader wasn't done. "Seriously though, girl, you sure about this? You could still be on dating apps by Monday. Freedom is just one." I changed my mind away. More laughter. My fiancée raised her glass. "Don't tempt me." Everyone laughed harder. I didn't. Her other friend chimed in. "Remember when you said you'd never settle down before 35? What happened to our pact?" My fiancée shrugged dramatically. "I guess I'm breaking the girl code. Or maybe you're just settling." The ringleader shouted. My fiancée paused, and then she laughed again. Didn't defend me. Didn't say he's worth it or I love him or literally anything. Just laughed. Something shifted in my chest. 4 years of subtle disrespect suddenly crystallized. The way her friends made comments about my job. The way she never corrected them. The times she'd laugh at their jokes about how I was punching above my weight class. I'd brushed it all off because I trusted her love was real. But watching her laugh at the idea of escaping our engagement, while I sat right there, I stood up. The room got quiet. "You know what?" I said, keeping my voice steady. "You're absolutely right. Marriage shouldn't feel like a prison. So let's cancel it." My fiancé's smile froze. "Babe, we're just joking around?" "I'm not." I pulled off my watch, the one she'd given me for our 3-year anniversary, and set it on the table. I've spent 4 years being the punchline to jokes I was never let in on. Watched your friends disrespect me while you laughed along. Told myself it didn't matter because at least you loved me. The room was dead silent. But you just raised a glass to the idea of leaving me. At our engagement party. In front of everyone we know. I grabbed my jacket. "Consider this your escape from prison." Her face went through about 6 emotions in 3 seconds. Confusion, shock, embarrassment, anger. "You're being so dramatic right now," she hissed. "It was a joke." "The joke's been going for 4 years. I just finally got it." I walked out. My 3 best friends followed without a word. I heard her yelling, "Come back here," as the door closed behind me. Drove home in silence. My buddy finally spoke up. "That was intense, man. You okay?" "Honestly, I feel lighter than I have in years." Got home around 10 p.m. By midnight, I had 23 missed calls from her. I didn't answer a single one. Update 1, 3 days later. Holy crap, this got attention. To answer the main questions. No, we don't live together. We were planning to move in after the wedding. Yes, I'm sure about my decision. No, I haven't spoken to her directly. So here's what happened after I left. According to my friend who stayed, his girlfriend is friends with one of hers, the party went nuclear. My fiancé had a full meltdown. Crying, screaming, the works. The ringleader tried to comfort her by saying I was clearly unstable, and showed his true colors. My buddy's girlfriend apparently said, "His true colors?" He sat there being humiliated for 20 minutes and then calmly walked out. That's the most measured response I've ever seen. She got uninvited from brunch. The next morning, Sunday, my fiancé showed up at my apartment. I looked through the peephole and didn't open the door. "I know you're in there. Open up. We need to talk about this like adults." I texted her, "I am being an adult who doesn't want to talk right now. Please leave." "You can't just end things over a joke." I didn't respond. She pounded on the door for another 15 minutes before my neighbor threatened to call the cops. Monday morning, I got a call from her mother. Now, her mom has always been interesting. She's one of those people who thinks her daughter is perfect and any problem is someone else's fault. "I don't know what you think you're doing," she started, "but you've embarrassed my daughter in front of everyone she knows. You need to apologize and fix this." "Ma'am, your daughter laughed at the idea of leaving me at our own engagement party. She didn't defend me when her friends called me settling. I don't owe her an apology." "You're being oversensitive. Women joke like that. You wouldn't understand because you're a man." "I understand that my partner should have my back in public. She didn't. That's not a joke. That's a character reveal." She went off about how I was throwing away the best thing that ever happened to me and how I'd never find someone like her daughter again. I told her I was counting on it and hung up. By Tuesday, the narrative had fully formed in their circle. According to her friend's social media posts, which I only saw because mutual friends sent screenshots, I was emotionally abusive for controlling her friendships, toxic for punishing her for having fun, insecure and clearly intimidated by successful women. Mind you, I'd said maybe 30 words total before leaving, but sure, I'm the abusive one. My fiancé's dad called Tuesday night. He's always been quieter, more reasonable. I actually liked him. "Listen," he said, "I'm not calling to yell at you. I saw my daughter's posts about what happened. I want to hear your side." I told him everything. The years of subtle disrespect, the jokes about my job, the way his daughter never once defended me, the engagement party being the final straw. He was quiet for a long moment. "I didn't know about all that. She told us you just snapped out of nowhere." "I'm sure she did. For what it's worth, I'm sorry, and I understand why you left." That call meant something, but it didn't change anything. Wednesday, I got a text from an unknown number. It was the ringleader. "Hey, so we need to clear the air. You completely overreacted and ruined her party. The least you can do is apologize publicly so people stop thinking we did something wrong. This is affecting my reputation too." I screenshot it and saved it, then replied, "Your reputation should be affected. You publicly mocked someone at their own engagement party and encouraged his fiancée to leave him. That's not a joke. That's cruelty with an audience." She blocked me immediately. Update 2, 1 week later. The entitlement has reached levels I didn't know were possible. First, my fiancé contacted my mother. My mom showed up at her house with flowers and tears, saying I'd abandoned her and she didn't understand what she did wrong. She wanted my mom to talk some sense into me. My mom, bless her, handed the flowers back and said, "Sweetheart, my son told me what happened. If you don't understand why he left, that's part of the problem. Please don't come back here." My fiancée apparently sat in her car outside my mom's house for an hour, crying before driving away. Then came the ring situation. The engagement ring cost me $8,200. I'd saved for 2 years. In our state, an engagement ring is considered a conditional gift. If the engagement is broken off, it legally should be returned. I texted her formally requesting the ring back. Her response? "Lol, you want the ring back? After publicly humiliating me? Consider it compensation for emotional damages." I forwarded this to my lawyer. He sent a formal demand letter. "The ring is mine if she won't marry me." That's literally the law. Her response to the legal letter was to have her mother call me screaming about how I was going after a poor girl for jewelry and how I was showing my true mercenary nature. "Ma'am, your daughter is refusing to return $8,200 of my property. That's not mercenary. That's basic accountability. She earned that ring by being with you for 4 years. That's not how gifts work, and that's definitely not how the law works. Have a nice day." By Thursday, the friend group had escalated their campaign. They created a whole narrative online. Screenshots, taken out of context naturally, of texts where I'd expressed frustration about their behavior over the years. They posted these as evidence of my pattern of control in behavior. One of my clients saw the posts, called me concerned. I had to explain the whole situation. He was understanding, but the fact that I had to have that conversation at all? It's humiliating. Here's where I stopped being passive. I contacted an attorney about defamation, got all the screenshots, all the posts, documented everything. The lawyer said I had a case. They were making demonstrably false claims that were affecting my business. I also realized something important. I had text receipts. 4 years of texts, where my fiancée complained about her friends, called them shallow, said she wished they'd grow up, admitted she only kept them around because we've been friends since college. I compiled every message where she'd badmouthed them. Every time she'd texted me after a girls' night saying she felt drained by their toxic energy. Every time she'd agreed with me that they were rude and promised to say something. She never did. Then I sent a group text to all of them, her and her 4 closest friends who'd been leading the charge. Hi everyone, since you've decided to publicly attack my character, I thought you might want to see what your best friend actually thinks of you. Attached are 4 years of texts. Enjoy. Screenshots included. My fiancé calling the ringleader exhausting and desperate for attention. My fiancé saying another friend peaked in college and has been insufferable ever since. My fiancé describing a third friend's relationship advice as rich coming from someone who can't keep a man for 6 months. My fiancé agreeing with me that they were all superficial and saying she wished she'd outgrown them years ago. The group chat exploded. Within hours, the ringleader had posted publicly calling my ex-fiancé a two-faced snake. The friend group turned on her fast. Years of friendship apparently meant nothing when faced with proof she'd been trashing them behind their backs. My ex-fiancé called me 17 times. I let it go to voicemail. The messages ranged from crying, "How could you do this to me?" to screaming, "You've destroyed my friendships. I hope you're happy," to threatening, "My lawyer's going to hear about this." Her lawyer did hear about it, and told her that sharing true statements isn't defamation, and that maybe she should focus on returning my ring rather than escalating. Update 3 final, 2 weeks after the party. The dust is settling, and I want to wrap this up. The ring situation resolved. After her lawyer explained that she was going to lose that fight and pay my legal fees, she returned it. Not gracefully, she mailed it to my apartment in a box full of shredded photos of us, along with a note saying, "I hope you choke on it." Real mature. I sold it. Got $5,100 back. Not what I paid, but I donated $1,000 to a local trade school scholarship fund and used the rest for a security deposit on a new apartment. Fresh start. Her friend group completely imploded. The ringleader posted a whole thing about betrayal and fake friends. 2 of the other friends reached out to apologize to me, saying they'd gotten caught up in the drama and felt bad. I told them I appreciated the apology but didn't need them in my life. They understood. My ex-fiancée tried one final play. She showed up at a job site where I was working, in front of my crew and my client. "We need to talk. You've ruined everything. My friends hate me. My parents are disappointed. I have nothing left because of you." I set down my tools. "You ruined everything when you couldn't stand up for me once in 4 years. You showed me who I was to you at that party. I believed you. Now please leave. This is a work site and you're trespassing." She started crying. "I loved you. I made one mistake." 4 years of mistakes. The party was just when I finally stopped ignoring them. My client, a contractor who's known me for years, stepped in. "Ma'am, you need to leave. Now." She left, but not before calling me a string of names I won't repeat here. Her father reached out one more time, a week after that. He apologized again. Said he'd had some hard conversations with his daughter and realized she'd been unfair to me for years without him knowing. Said he was sorry I'd been treated that way. I thanked him, told him I held no grudge against him. He wished me well. The online posts eventually came down. Turns out, when your entire friend group turns on you, maintaining a "my ex was abusive" narrative gets hard when everyone knows you were trash-talking them for years. As for me, I'm doing okay. Not great, not terrible. 4 years is a long time to invest in someone. Some nights I wonder if I overreacted, if I should have just talked to her privately, if there was a way to salvage things. Then I remember her face at that party, laughing, not defending me, raising a glass to escaping, and I know I made the right call. I've started seeing a therapist, not because I'm broken, but because I clearly ignored red flags for years and I want to understand why. She told me something that stuck. You trained yourself to accept disrespect because you loved her. Now you need to train yourself to recognize your own worth. Working on it. My buddies have been solid. We've been doing weekly dinners instead of just watching games. More talking, less screening emotions behind sports commentary. It's been good. I'm not dating yet, not ready, but I'm also not close off, just taking my time. Learning to be okay with being alone instead of being with someone who made me feel alone anyway. To everyone who reached out, thanks. To the people who said I was too harsh, maybe? But I spent 4 years being too soft, and look where that got me. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is walk away from people who don't value you, even if you love them. Especially if you love them. That's the end. No dramatic twist, no villain getting arrested, just a guy who finally respected himself enough to leave. Sometimes that's enough. Life goes on. Peace out.